are your hosts, Deshaun. Sorry, welcome to another episode of Double D's podcast. We are your hosts, Damian Deshaun and D of D's Corner. We tapping in with you today, and we're gonna talk about the schedule. What's going on, partner?
What's up, bro? What's up? What's up?
Not much, man. Just a lot. Been very busy, man. We're ready to tap in. We got a, big day today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Make sure that y'all please like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna go on and hit that banner now so that y'all know. Don't forget, we're gonna touch solely on the AFC East schedule today. Um, no need to hesitate or wait, bro. We're just gonna go on and get in with it. I'm gonna bring up the window. We're gonna start today with the Bills, and we've discussed prior in our shows, prior podcasts about their window closing,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a crucial crossroads right now. From what I've seen, I know they play a lot of returning playoff teams. Um, we can get into a little bit just on the outside of their schedule. I know they got Jacksonville, Baltimore. They play the Rams. They play San Francisco, the Rams, and the Lions all back to back, including
Yeah.
Seattle and Indianapolis. For a team that's going in transition, in particular with some pieces on offense, this is a big season, not only for them as a franchise and trying to keep that window open, but for the quarterback for Allen to really pretty much show that it is not just him, because you lost Diggs, you lost Gabe Davis, and it looks like a lot of his dependency is going to be on a rookie in Keon Coleman. You care to add a little bit to that and then flow into the scheduling a little bit of what you saw?
Yeah, man. They have um a grueling end of the year schedule. I think from week 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, that's a tough schedule in general because they're going to start off playing Miami, Arizona, which
Mm-hmm.
they should win that game. But then you got to play division Dolphins. You got Jacksonville, Baltimore, Houston, and then the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Tennessee in week 7.
Uh-huh.
Depending on how they are, young quarterback, rookie head coach. Same thing with the Seahawks. Then you got the Dolphins, the Colts,
And
Chiefs,
Steelers.
bye,
Uh,
Niners, Rams, Lions. Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
If this team is still the AFC East winner, it'll say a
Mm,
lot about Josh Allen.
yeah.
Um, I think I think because based off what you said of who they lost and really every being dependent on a rookie for your number one wide receiver. And I was just watching another video of him. I love that kid, man. But he has some knocks when it comes to speed and separation.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's not the most accurate quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So um, now he should be able to win. I've seen different interviews for our later on show, but
Mm-hmm.
he should be able to play.
Yeah.
Keon should be able to come in, and play. But I don't know if this is going to even be a playoff team, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if this is going to be
They
a
may have
playoff team.
missed.
I
Yeah.
think
They
that
got.
I think it gives Josh Allen, I think it lays an excuse at his feet. But if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, I don't know if this coach comes back, if McDermott comes back.
Yeah. That's how I feel, man. It goes right into this is a season that can pretty much open or keep the window open or close it. Because
Yeah,
I mean they can't navigate this schedule, then it's showing that they've regressed considerably when we're looking at the other three teams in their division, as we've discussed prior. That this this is a gauntlet, man.
yeah.
This is a legit gauntlet.
And then
Um, Go ahead. Go ahead.
my bad, the week 4, 5, and 6, Ravens, Texans, Jets. Those are all 3 away games.
Yeah,
So that's all travel.
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at him as possibly, the way it looks on paper, you may be a 7, 8 win team
Yeah,
right now with the transition. Last year's team, I think they can navigate it, but because they're going through so much transition and getting younger and then losing key pieces, I don't know if I really see them as a playoff team, especially when you got Miami and the Jets sitting
yeah.
right there at the division. Uh it's pretty much make or break. But we can transition on, man. Unless you have something to add, we can move on to Miami.
No, I mean, just already what we said, man. It's going to be a lot on Josh Allen. This is going to see now if he makes this a playoff team, I could see
Mm-hmm.
them attempting to make him the MVP.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's the type of season. Like it could be, unexpectedly high, or it could be almost rebuild low.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. It seems like they're playing the AFC West is playing the NFC West. I mean, East is playing the West this year.
Hmm.
So, everybody has to face the Rams, the Cardinals, Seahawks, and the Niners. You go ahead and lead us off with the Dolphins real quick while I continue to look at some things in their schedule.
All right,
What you
they
see?
have they have they got a tough end of the year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, week 13 through 18.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Packers, the Jets, the Texans, the Niners, the Browns, and then the Jets again. Um, they play the Rams,
Yeah.
they play the Cardinals, play the Colts. This
I'm seeing
it
I'm seeing
and
their
with
schedule
Tua,
too.
if
Yeah.
what Tua if they sign Tua, because if I'm not mistaken, he at first he wasn't, but now he is at OTAs. But I don't think
Mm-hmm.
he's participating. If they sign Tua and they get going, because they had a pretty solid off season,
Mm-hmm.
defensively. I mean, they still got a lot to do. But I think overall their roster is better than Buffalo. So
Yeah.
I think that's what would make this well. On camera just one now.
See. I'm looking at possibly at their schedule as right now. I can only really pick though 3 games that I can see. Okay, they can win outright. The rest of it, but we know how the NFL works. But the rest of it, it's gonna be a challenge. I'm like you said, you see Green Bay, the Jets, Houston, San Francisco, Cleveland's on that schedule. As I scroll through, I look at it as a tough tread for them too. So this could be a very competitive division because of the schedules that they have with them playing the NFC West and them playing the the AFC North. Because everybody they got to play the Colts, they got to play Jacksonville. You see the Texans on there. I
Yeah,
can see only, let's see, between Seattle, Tennessee because of transition, Washington, and possibly like Atlanta. I'm only seeing 5 possible wins. I could say they should win those games right off the bat.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest of them is coin flips. Even though
I
we're
think
talking
I think you
NFL.
scroll too high.
Okay.
Washington is the that's preseason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
I
preseason.
did.
So
That's my bad.
yeah,
Those are preseason. Regular season's Jacksonville.
yeah,
Seattle, the Titans is 2 winnable right there. That are
yeah.
very winnable. Indianapolis, because the transition is still getting their things going, is another along with the Cardinals. Those are four
I don't know
games.
now. Don't
No,
sleep
I'm
on the
not giving no,
Colts.
no, I'm not giving them the Colts win. I'm saying that right now because of their roster, I would still favor
Yeah,
them in that game, along with against the Raiders, but out and then maybe New England. But when you see like Green Bay on the roster, they're gonna play the Jets, Houston, Cleveland, San Francisco, and then you got the Jets again. At you see
yeah.
what I'm saying? It doesn't look. It's like the Bills. It doesn't look good. And they're a team that we discussed as their window isn't closing, but they're fringe because
It sure as hell
got
ain't opening either.
it ain't opening either. No, they're kind of in flux. They're
Yeah,
just staying pat. Um, I like their offense. I like them to be able to score against the teams against their schedule, with exception to maybe like Cleveland and San Francisco and Houston, giving them a little
that
bit of
San
a more.
Francisco game gonna be nice.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be very interesting to see because that's a home game too for them.
Yeah.
Um, I see
And,
them as a team that can be one of them teams that's gonna come down like the last week or two to
hmm.
whether they make the qualify for the playoffs, and they're gonna be in a tight race. But what about you?
Yeah. Same. I mean, I pretty much agree with everything
Uh-huh.
you just said. Because this
Uh-huh.
team's not known to be a physical team, and if you look at who they're going to be playing,
Uh-huh.
the Colts are going to run the ball. You
Yeah.
lost Christian Wilkins. Green Bay got Josh Jacobs, so they're going to be physical, and then they have explosive playmakers. The Jets are
Mhm.
going to be physical defensively. Houston's going to be physical. Cleveland's going to be physical. San
Mhm.
Fran's going to be physical. And
Yeah.
those back to back games, That's from week 13 to 18. No, that's a tough sledding right there.
Yeah, at Cleveland and at the Jets, and as I see, yeah, you playing them late in the season, so you talking
Hmm.
about taking the team from South Florida up north to play in that at that time should be some pretty cold temperatures,
They play
and
at
probably
Green Bay.
yeah at Green Bay. So yeah, this is a team that is a fringe playoff. I mean, them and the Bills, they're fringe. You can say about several teams are like that, but with
Hmm.
them, those two games, they're one of them teams I look at is in a better position than the Bills right now. But it could
Yeah,
come down to the last two games. Yeah. So as we transition on, New England transition team, new quarterback, new coach, new everything pretty much. Administration up front office. Their schedule as we bring it up, we can break it down just a little bit and touch on it. Let me take this down. They got their preseason games. They start off at Cincinnati. I'm already looking at that as an L. You
L.
know, L Seahawks. That's an L in my opinion. The Jets. L. I mean, they could. This is a team that could be looking at 0-4, 0-5 to start the season, just because of the newness. And then you look at Houston. That's 0-6.
Yeah,
0-6. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule. Yeah, they with the transition, they may not steal a win to maybe Tennessee. They're 9 games in,
yeah.
8, 9 games in already. You got the Bears, the Rams, Dolphins, Colts,
That
Cardinals.
one, that one with the Seahawks could be a toss up.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
was thinking that.
if they lose that one, I don't see. And I know New England fans are gonna be upset, but I don't see it. I don't
No,
see
I
it.
don't see it.
Chill.
Yeah, they're building teams, so they're going to have a rebuilding schedule,
Oh
which
yeah.
it can possibly help them because I mean, if you have another bad season, the only thing I worry about is if they have too awful of a season, is it going to put Mayo on the hot seat already? Because you know how patience goes.
But see, I don't think so. I think Robert Kraft, and we talked about this, and
Hmm.
this is still gonna be my stance on it. I think Robert Kraft is not going to have him on a short lease. I think he's going to allow him. He's gonna have at least 3 years.
Okay.
I think he'll have at least 3 years because, like I said, we keep talking about it when we did our grades and everything.
Hmm.
Buffalo, this season's gonna say a lot about Buffalo.
Yeah.
Miami's getting ready to be in a cap situation,
Hmm.
so they're gonna have to make some changes. The Pats have the most cap. They'll have the most cap going into the offseason. So even if
Hmm.
they end up with the first pick and somebody wants a quarterback, they are going to be in prime position. So this year really is this season here is really going to be a wash. Like
Hmm.
whatever victories they have is just going to be cool. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I don't think that's their thought process, but I think they're prepared. Like, okay, if this goes left, we'll be okay. So like if they're losing close games, but the defense is balling, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not just a young quarterback they're transitioning to. They got two young receivers.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
your whole team is young now. You don't have a left tackle,
Yeah.
so
And we
there's still things they got to do.
and we gotta they're in that phase where they're trying to establish identity. You know, they're gonna be trying to
Hmm.
establish some kind of identity, not only on the field but off the field,
Yep.
continuity, all of that stuff's coming into play here. So we are really just looking at a team in transition, but as we said, they're building for the future. Nothing expectations should not be playoffs this year. It should be
This
just
is
continue to build.
this season is the groundwork.
Yep.
This season
Foundation.
is they're going to lay the foundation, and you
Hmm.
got to think they already have some younger defensive pieces. They could trade All right, my bad. We supposed to be talking about the schedule.
Yeah.
My bad.
We can touch on it in
So
the review, man. We'll touch on it. But you hit the nail on the head with it though, man. We there. I don't see nothing else. I mean, I know they'll
maybe 4 wins,
yeah, I can see maybe
maybe
4 wins. And I'm giving them the 4 wins because it is the NFL and they're gonna steal some win from somewhere that we
from
don't expect
somebody,
it
right?
from
Injury's
somebody.
gonna happen, something.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So
Hmm.
I mean, any given Sunday kind of thing, the mantra. it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and transition to the fourth team here in the East, and that's the Jets. Quite interesting here. They got a 12th ranked schedule right now. Their bye weeks in week 12. Of course, they're at San Fran, which is going to be a very good game. They got Houston at home and Buffalo at home. Those are the three big marquee matchups. As we go in depth with their schedule and we begin to look and break down, hold on, because these little pop-ups want to come up. Uh, they open the season with San Francisco, as you've already said. Um, I don't know where to go with that. I think they play hard enough. It's going to be a game, but I'm looking at that as they're going to lose the game. It's probably a close loss, especially since it being the first game.
The only thing is how rested is San Francisco going to be? Because the Jets are going to be rested.
Yeah.
The Jets going to be rested. San Fran got done playing in February.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Brandon Ayuk situation. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey's not at OTAs. They say it's not contract related.
Mm-hmm.
Greenlaw towards Achilles.
Yeah.
Greenlaw towards Achilles in
the
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's not going to play. Now they're going to be. They got some FSU players. They're gonna bring in some younger players at safety. Hufanga's coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Hufanga's coming back from injury. I'm gonna tell you like this: looking at that schedule, if the Jets do beat San Fran, and Aaron's a Cali kid, they're going back out west.
Yeah.
He's always felt some type of way when it came to San Francisco when they drafted Alex Smith, and he thought he was going to be the pick. So if he's healthy, and like everything says he is, if they don't suffer injuries through week one, we'll be able to see what type of team this really is, because the Jets have a defense. Salah's coached against Shanahan.
Yeah.
They were on staff together, so he's called defense against Shanahan's plays. So that's going to be more of a chess game than I think people are really giving it credit. But if the Jets win, I don't see another tough game until maybe week 6.
Exactly. I was just about to mention, I'm saying they're a team that, looking at the beginning of their schedule, they can be anywhere from 5-1, 6-0, or 4-2. Either way, they're a team that's above 500 going into week 7 against Pittsburgh.
The confidence.
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember, up until Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and I know he only played 4 plays. The confidence in that team, they were on hard knocks. You saw how they were playing. You saw how they were playing in the preseason. They felt like they had, and as soon as Aaron got hurt, like it was like the life left them.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out, Juice. That's gonna be a physical game week 1.
Yeah. I see 10 wins in this team. I do. I see at least a minimum 10 wins.
And that's a Monday night game.
Especially if they get San Francisco, it could jump to 11 if they beat San Francisco. If they lose to San Francisco, I think they win 10, because I see Tennessee, New England, Denver, Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? You got to toss up with Buffalo.
Arizona.
Yeah, you got Arizona on the schedule. Seattle, you can talk with the Colts. That's going to be a battle, but it is what it is. Jacksonville is another one like the Colts. It's going to be a fight, but they can win it. So that's a team I think that can win at no less than 10 games, man.
Yeah.
With the way they play.
And based on what we said about the Dolphins and the Bills,
we don't know exactly.
This would be based off what we're assuming right now. This would be the leader. This would be the AFC East winner right here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure. So if we do it short, you've already said it in a prior show. The Jets is actually your dark horse.
The Jets are my dark horse.
Yeah, this is your dark horse team, because their schedule is favorable. Their roster is good. They got a lot of young pieces. Their oldest piece is really on their offensive line and their quarterback, but they're young across the board on the defensive side of the board and of the ball, and on the offensive side, the skill position, they're young. So
and what I think people forget is, I know Aaron Rodgers, the last 2 times he played, he was the MVP, and then he was just average. This team won 7 games last year with the worst quarterback play in the entire NFL. What Aaron Rodgers is going to make that old offensive line or that injury plagued offensive line, however you want to look at it. Because if one of them get hurt, you got another rookie coming in. He
Uh-huh.
gets the ball. He gets the ball out of his hands fast. So that already negates the pass rush. That already helps the offensive line out. They have a ton of running backs. Garrett Wilson is a dog. Garrett Wilson is going to command double coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So this team, man, that's why I said this is my dark horse. If they stay healthy, and Aaron got all them boys on them mushrooms or whatever the hell he be on, man,
They're gonna be cooking. They are.
yeah.
Um, I mean, we done went through the East, man, and now we can go back. And what you was touching on, where you said you were sorry, go ahead and touch on it. We got time, man, so we can go back and go a little bit more in depth. Just stay
Oh,
with the Jets if you got some.
I was talking about the Colts and the Dolphins because I feel like the Colts are going to be a physical team.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
can
why I
see
said
that.
this Dolphins team offensively they're finesse, but
Yes,
they terrify you. They terrify you.
Mm-hmm.
If they're able to put together a physical defense,
Mm-hmm.
if because Jalen Ramsey brings a different attitude on the back end. You got
Yes,
Jordan Poyer, who is
Poyer.
a veteran,
Yeah.
So he might not be as fast, he might, but the IQ's still there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
he can at least help. Holland is a really good free safety.
Yeah.
Then they still got Cam Smith from South Carolina a year ago.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce the nickelback they got. So they have a solid secondary. They beefed up their linebacking core.
Backer core.
Anthony Walker and Jordan Brooks. And then once Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb come back, but they do have Shaq Barrett, Muhammad Kamara, and Chop Robinson. So
yeah.
If they're able to be physical on defense,
then I can see them.
That could be a team now too.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's like I said, that's what I was doing when I was thinking when I was comparing them with the Bill situation, like we discussed before. If they got some ifs, their ifs. Both them and Buffalo got ifs, but their ifs are a lot more positive looking because a lot of it seems like okay, they got to feel the Christian Wilkins loss. But if they can get anything out of the two players that they lost to injury on the defensive side of the ball to go along with what they brought in, that's a plus for them. Because we know one thing, they're going to be able to score points. They got a lot of speed. They brought in even more speed.
Even more
speed. I mean, what's his name? Malik Washington. I like him. I like what how they'll be able to use him. Because he could do a little bit of everything when he was at Virginia.
Yeah, the
he's
Tennessee
small,
running back.
Yeah. They brought him into what's his name? Jalen Wright.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's Jalen Wright. So I mean, I questioned that pick, but I get it. I get what they want to do. He's adding to the arsenal of weapons. He's giving Tua a lot of options.
Not only that, what McDaniels is doing with that additional speed, those two guys that we just mentioned, Wright and Washington, are good with the ball in their hands. It's a new kickoff rule.
Yeah,
they're implementing a new kickoff rule. You get you a guy back there with some speed, he can hit the edge, if I'm not mistaken, because they're going to have the kickoff and the kick return guys lined up 5 yards apart.
Yeah.
So there's no more running. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They're just trying to generate the same excitement that they had from the kickoff without the risk of the impact of kickoffs and CTE. Yeah. So I get it. I wasn't a fan of it. I'd be interested to see how it works. I mean,
if you got some guys back there that can run.
Yeah, it's going to be very
guys back there that can run. It should be nice.
Yeah, it should be nice. I want to go back to Buffalo. Let's touch more on the Jets. Because I didn't look in depth, but I know they got what's his name? Johnson on the defensive line. They who's the interior guy? One of the interior guys. It's still Leonard Williams. Yeah.
Quinnen Williams.
And Quinnen Williams, the Williams boys. Yeah. I know they got to replace
Mosley.
Replacing Bryce Huff. Who did
they drafted Will McDonald. They drafted Will McDonald the year before last year out of Iowa State.
Okay, so that's probably why they didn't really try to keep Bryce Huff.
But they had a bunch of bodies. They still have a bunch of bodies. They had a hell of a rotation last year on the defensive front.
Yeah. So I like them. I like their back four. They're solid. So we know
Mhm.
defensively they're set. That defense wasn't an issue for them last
Nope.
year. It was the bad quarterback play. Excuse me. But with Aaron coming in, um, coming back, if he can just, he doesn't really have to be Aaron of
No,
old. I don't think
no.
he's going to be that anyway. But if he could just be a manager that don't turn the ball over, they run the football, and he just make the plays when it comes down to crucial parts, be the vet and use the weapons they got, they should be good, man.
But bro, the thing about Aaron Rodgers is he doesn't turn the ball over. I don't care how people feel about him as a person.
Hmm.
Does not turn the ball over, bro. So it's gonna be hard for you to say. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets the ball out so fast.
Uh-huh.
He gets the ball out so fast, bro. There's no way he's. I don't see him having 10, 12 interceptions. He'll probably
Yeah.
have 8 to 10. I said 8 to 10, if that. But and then you gotta think when Mike Williams comes back, they have a solid tight end play. Garrett
Hmm.
Wilson, Malachi Corley is going to
Corley.
be a player, bro.
Yeah. I like
He's
him. I
going to
like
be
what
a
he's gonna bring
player,
to them.
bro.
Yeah. I
And
like
then
it,
like
man.
Brees Hall, I can't pronounce the dude's name from Pitt. Uh, last year they took Braylon Allen. This year,
Uh-huh.
so they have a bunch of different style of back. So
But
like
they
they
all
they
can thump though. They're gonna
yes,
be
they
able to
have
run power
depth, so they're gonna
football.
they're gonna be
Yeah.
able to be physical. They're gonna be able
Yeah.
to be just as physical on offense as they are on
Yeah.
defense. So even if Aaron shows a little bit of rust, you have
Hmm.
four young backs that you can just plow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could just run it down their throat until they can stop.
Well, one other thing before we close out, because I just got some more confirmation.
Okay.
Tyron Smith, how he goes also
Yes.
could be a key to their season
Yep.
because that position cost them their quarterback last year, and it
Mm-hmm.
cost them some possible wins that would have gotten them a lot further than they ended up going, even though they won what 7 games,
They could
like
have.
you said.
Yeah, they could have still
They could
been a
have won.
playoff team.
Yeah, they could have been a playoff team, and they would have guaranteed. That tells me they would have guaranteed a playoff spot last year if Rodgers was healthy. So Tyron Smith being able to give them some games without long, what is it called, a long injury, because
Yeah, but he
he's
didn't
going to
get hurt
be
last
injured.
year, did he? But he
Yeah,
didn't
he
get
had
hurt
some
last year,
issues.
did he?
He missed
Did
games
he?
last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he missed games last year.
But I
Um,
think as long as it's nothing serious,
yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
allows the rookie, that allows Olu
Yeah,
to come in and play.
yeah.
So
So that gives them some time. But we're gonna go ahead and close this out, and we want to make sure that everyone remembers to like, share, and subscribe. Please follow D of D's Corner. Make sure y'all follow us. We're getting ready to transition over to the Renegade Report,
yes,
where we'll
sir.
be talking with George and Jen of that show. Um, they're going to ask some questions specifically about the 13 players that the 10 that were drafted and the 3 undrafted free agents that were signed from Florida State. We're going to go a little in depth there and just answer some of their questions. So y'all make sure that y'all follow us over there. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe. And y'all have the best rest of your day.